Welcome, my name is Cindy. This is Hudson Valley, New York, Zone 7. I wanted to take you on a stroll of the garden today. It's late July. There's lots of beautiful surprises to look at. I also picked up a bunch of new plants I'm trying out. I know a lot of you deal with deer, so I like to start in the front in my deer-resistant gardens, and then we'll come back here. I also want to give you an update on my window boxes, the ones that I'm really loving and things I want to repeat, and ones that I'm not loving at all, and that I probably am going to take apart soon. So I thought I'd start with giving you an overall pan, because one of you guys suggested taking wider views so you can kind of have an idea the layout of the garden, and I thought that made a lot of sense. I can forget to do that and zoom in on individual plants. So here's the front. I have two small fenced-in gardens here that started mainly as food gardens and have turned into more of a pollinator habitat with a little bit of food interspersed. Back against the fence, that's a north-facing fence, so that's my shade garden. And then up against the house gets morning sun because it's east facing and afternoon shade from the house. And then up here I have what we call the road garden, which starts out here in the driveway. If you're looking for a flower that is a pollinator magnet, I definitely recommend wild bee balm. I used to shy away from this one because it does get powdery mildew. If you get the cultivars, you can avoid that, but I've decided it's totally worth it. I got this beautiful shot of a hummingbird moth on it the other day, and the hummingbirds have been going for it because it has lots of pollen. You really can't beat the native varieties. They just always have more food in there for them. You can see that bee balm actually is made up of a ton of tubular flowers. The Millennium Allium's getting ready to bloom, and the Rebecca natita has popped. The pruning that I did on that in a video has definitely paid off. So you can see how bushy it looks, because before I used to do that, it would just all grow tall and flop. But it's holding together really well. White Wands Veronica, boxwood I need to pull out. I think it's gone. The Russian sage has popped. Really happy with how that's bushing out. Loving the kaleidoscope butterfly bush. It's just loaded with blooms, and it has such a nice upright habit, so you can plant things underneath it easily. A nice vase shape. The anise hyssop is just such a great one if you need something really deer resistant for a high prone area like this road garden. So I think I'm gonna start just letting that self sow more. It can be really aggressive, so I pull a lot of it out, but I'm kind of wanting that in this garden. The echinacea I have not sprayed. I keep saying in every tour I'm gonna come spray it, and I never do, but it is blooming. They're letting me have some blooms. But to be honest, it has been quite an eyesore, so I would like to pull most of it out. And like I said, maybe lean more heavily into the anise hyssop or other things. And I was so happy with the liatris. It's finishing up, but I think I'm gonna put a bigger clump in here for next year to put on more of a show. That I just had to spray once when the buds were still green, and then the deer left it alone because otherwise they do munch it. This iris clump is a real eyesore. I might yank this out because I did already move some back there. This true blue butterfly bush has popped. Another nice vase shaped one. Oh, and I forgot to give you an update on this arborvitae, complete fail. I did not spray it because I wanted to test it out, and not that it claimed to be deer resistant, because it didn't. I just thought it might be. It's not. So I'm gonna pull that out and relocate it, see if it bounces back. If not, it's not a big deal. And this one, I think they did nibble it a little. So I don't really want things here, especially evergreen things, that I'm gonna have to spray. So I think I'm gonna move this because this is supposed to get like 5 feet tall, and that's never gonna happen if they're gonna nibble it. Again, another one, it didn't claim to be deer resistant. I was just experimenting. This is one of the bee balm that's a cultivar that doesn't get powdery mildew, but it doesn't come back reliably. Some more Russian sage. The cleome, I lopped off the first flower, and that way it's not putting so much energy into those seeds, so I could get more blooms out of it. The Joe Pyeweed is blooming. And here I'm trying something new. I wanted something dark here and deer resistant, and one of you said that ligularia is deer resistant. So I got this new ligularia because I wanted something dark next to the Japanese forest grass, Hakanakloa. So I'm really liking that trio with the green panicum. This shade garden got a serious overhaul. It was much in need of the other day. It looks so much better. I just yanked a lot out of it. This little Joe Pyeweed is blooming. Dark Night butterfly bush. So I'm gonna go into this in detail in the next video I put up, because I did tell my email subscribers I was gonna do a video for deer resistant plants just for shade, because that can be tricky. It's one thing to deal with deer, but then if you have shade, that's another thing. The 9-bark is growing back from all the deer munching. These window boxes I'm not thrilled with, and I'm not surprised. I got the those mini petunias, what are they called? So like Calibrachoa. I never do good with them. I always end up overwatering them, and the Bacopa is kind of petered out. I am happy with the geraniums from seed. I did throw that other little annual in there. I forget what it's called. The lemon coral sedum is a winner. That's doing great without any fuss. But yeah, these are just looking kind of weedy to me. But I do like the different geraniums. It was a mixed pack, so it was a surprise when they bloomed to see what colors they were. And the hummingbirds have been loving these, so these are definitely a win. This Pugster butterfly bush is doing better than it ever has, because I learned that you do not hardly prune this thing at all. It does need some deadheading. You can see this is my lower deer pressure area, because I have not sprayed this in quite a while, and they're letting me have all this echinacea. The Gara is a big hit with the bumblebees. This butterfly bush is in need of deadheading too. Butterfly kisses echinacea. The Joe Pye weed is blooming. I'll take you in the back in a minute. So let's see if there's anything new. All right. The yarrow's growing back from its cutback. We're getting some strawberries. The comfrey's blooming. Take you in this fenced-in garden. The gladiolus is blooming. This I do not pull out of the ground. This one comes back every year reliably for me. Toying with the idea of taking it out just to divide it and dot it all over the garden, because it's such a good one. It came in a mixed pack, and this is the only one that kept coming back for me. And I was so happy because it was the prettiest color out of all of them. This is Dara. It's in the carrot family. So there's white and this other color. James Galloway's blooming again. Yeah, this is, I don't know what I'm gonna do about this, because this Baptisia gets huge, I found out, and you can't move it because it's got a tap root. And I just moved that James Galloway rose there. So that was a mistake, but I guess I could move that again, or I could just sacrifice Baptisia, but I don't really want to do that because I planted that from seed. It took a couple of years to get it to bloom, so it's kind of special to me. I have some more Cleome back here that's self-sowed. You can see the Rebecca Anatita from this side. So fun. And the peppers are doing so well. This is an interesting deformity. Should probably pick that one off. This dahlia came back. I was so happy. Teddy. This is one of my favorites, because I didn't dig any dahlias out last year. I was just kind of like, let's see what happens, because, you know, it's a chore. I got this new helenium. It's a native. It's very tall because the fence is 5 foot tall. It's almost as tall. So that should bloom soon. More peppers in here. How are they doing? Oh, good. I see a pepper right there. And this is a candelabra hydrangea, and that's a vanilla strawberry. I have seen the hummingbirds on the hydrangeas. The grape needs pruning again. It's a bit of a chore with grapes. I wouldn't grow a lot of them because they are kind of high maintenance. They're good habitat for birds though. A lot of times you'll get a bird nest in there, which is fun. It's interesting, this Brussels sprout, I almost thought I accidentally planted kale here, because you can see the difference. This one has curly leaves and that one doesn't. So I wonder if there was some cross-pollinating going on, because these are my own seeds that I saved, and I have the curly kale. So I think I might have my own variety of Brussels sprouts, like with pretty curly leaves. So I think I'll save the seeds of this one, because it is acting like Brussels sprouts. I don't think it's kale. Yeah, you can see the little sprouts forming. So that's neat. Fun surprises in the garden. Oh, and the ageratum is blooming. This came back self-sowed, so I moved the seedlings around. That's a fun one. And the pruning on the bee balm was a huge success. You can see the ones that bloomed first, and then we're gonna get a second and a third flush. And this just ended up being so nice and bushy, cutting it back in the front, that it's helping to hold the taller ones up. Here's some more ageratum. Is that a different color? Yeah, that's a different color. And then you have more of a lavender one there. Well, this one didn't stay held up. You can't win them all. A Rebecca. Yeah, so I came in here and did a lot of deadheading of calendula, and I decided that I want to grow a lot less calendula next year. It is a pretty flower and it's a great companion plant, but it's kind of an eyesore at this time of year. It gets kind of mildewy and it's kind of high maintenance. So I'm learning how to make the garden less and less maintenance. This Jupiter's beard I keep deadheading, I'm wondering if I should cut it back harder because that's looking pretty lanky. And then just see if it shoots out more blooms or not. Oh, and I forgot to show you there are eggplants. So we have the listata, that's a really pretty one. And then I forget the name of this other one, but it's a skinnier one. So fun. And then the pippin pepper, a little black pepper. They're sweet peppers, even though they look like they'd be hot peppers. Those are nice. I mainly grew those to give to the girls because the girls love munching on peppers. And by girls, I mean the poodles. Molly did yank out a couple plants already, picking her own peppers. That's okay, I planted extra for her. Okay, let's go to the back. There's not too much new I need to show you here, but I didn't want you to miss anything. We have this Helenium perennial sunflower that just popped, and I cut this way back so it'd be nice and bushy, and you can see the result. Because if you look, oh, maybe you can't even see where I cut it. I cut it way down there. So then it sent up all these different stalks. So it's nice and bushy. And another one of these gladiolus. This is a good trick. If your irises or your gladiolus or even your dahlias are flopping, sometimes you don't need to put a bamboo stake in. If you can just stick a big rock up to them. I did that this morning. And then it stabilizes them. And then after a few days, you may even be able to take the rock away. It just kind of stiffens them up. It works great. So we'll see if this straightens out because I just put that there now. It was leaning on the fence, so it was getting all wonky. Oh, I wanted to show you the hollyhocks. I planted these last year, not realizing they were typical biennial ones. I thought I was going to get a bloom the first year, so it's exciting. They're blooming now. So I'm definitely going to save seeds from these and put these everywhere because look at how pretty. They look so good with the green twister echinacea. Really pretty. And you can see the bees love them. Look at all that pollen. I'll put the name on the screen of which variety this is. I forget. I got it from outsidepride.com. The Glamour Girl phlox, I need to deadhead the rest of it, and I think I'll get more blooms out of that. And I'm getting another flush out of this Coral Knockout Rose, which is great. It's been through so much. It had so much spongy moth caterpillar damage. Yanking those things off was such a chore. I decided I'm not planting any more roses this year because it's so much work to maintain the ones I have. And I pulled a lot and cut a lot back of the Rebecca, because when you deadhead your Rebecca, then it has energy to give you more flowers. This is the Cherokee Sunset variety, so you get all these different colors. So fun. Oh, and you can see all the new flowers coming from cutting it back. And there's a Helenium perennial sunflower that planted itself. So not in the greatest spot, so I'll either move that in the fall or the spring. What else is new? I picked up this coneflower. It's not a green twister. I think it's called Prairie Sun. It's a nice short variety, so it's really nice for the front of the border, and it looks so good next to the limelight hydrangea. This is little lime, because the green brings out the green in the petals. And this thing is looking so happy. I thought it was looking a little funny before it started blooming, but now I think it's a great shape. The coffee cup elephant ear has gotten huge. I'm so happy because I had a big one last year and somehow it just didn't make it. I tried to keep it in a paper bag over the winter, which works well for a lot of elephant ears. This one I found it's way safer to just keep it as a house plant because it didn't come back for me. So these are from it. These are just babies. So when I bring these in for the winter, I'm just gonna cut them back, put them in a pot and let them reflush. Blue bunny's getting ready to bloom. That should be in full swing for the August garden tour. And I deadheaded the obedient plant. It's so important because you can see the little flowers, the buds that want to come, but it's a prolific reseeder, which means it'll put a lot of energy. You can see I missed a spot into producing these seeds, and then it'll shut down and you won't get any more flowers. So it's a good idea to just go in and take off all the blooms when you start seeing a lot of seeds and let it flush out again. Calypso is getting ready to put on another show. It's a really pretty coral rose. And this white rose is putting on another show, full of the spotted lanternfly. We'll see how it copes with that. It has a nice open habit, which is great for the bees. You can see how they can get right in there. This is a new Jacob's ladder I picked up. Really happy with this one. It seems a lot healthier than the other one I got, although this is it. But it is flushing back nice since I cut it back. But the Japanese anemone is kind of crowding it out, so I probably should move it. Especially since I just put it there this year, it's not that rooted in, so wouldn't be a big deal to move it now. The Japanese anemone are getting ready to bloom. I'm really happy with how prolific they are. I think I'm gonna take some of them probably in the spring. I just have to make a mental note and put them back here to just kind of fill in so that I don't have to worry about mulch so much. Oh, and I popped a couple new fern back here. This phlox is reblooming, or starting to rebloom anyway. Yeah, the newer varieties of phlox, if you deadhead them, they will rebloom. And I'm getting a late bloom on this iris, which is fun. That was a fun surprise. I don't think that's ever happened before because they've been kind of long done. Oh, and here's an obedient plant I missed. So you can see, it's hard to do. I mean, you can leave some of the blooms on. Like this is fine because you don't really see the seeds forming well. I mean, they're getting there. But when it starts to look like this, you definitely want to clip it back. And then you can let these little buds form into new flowers because the hummingbirds love this plant. Almost got everything planted from the greenhouse. It's late July and I still have impatiens I planted from seed that I do want to throw in the ground. Some succulents I propagated. I should pot up. And if you caught that episode where I had a bird nest in there and eggs, the babies are gone. There's no evidence of eggs, so everyone survived, so that's great. I'm watering the ivy again. I took the nest out so they don't come back because it's not a safe place for them. I'm just really happy that my dog didn't get any of the babies. This is how I keep the chickens happy in the summer. They have a box fan and they just hang out right in front of it. They love it. Right, girls? Yeah. Now, these window boxes up here. Oh, and I should give you a big pan again so that you can understand the layout. So this is what I call a cottage garden. It's the sun garden, south facing. And then you have the greenhouse, the chicken coop, and then you have the north facing garden, which is another shade garden. And then you have the west facing of the house. So it gets morning shade and afternoon sun. So I have to plant some pretty tough stuff back here. This echinacea I love. It comes back like this every year. It's one of these that's self-sowed. It's so interesting. This rose tree is not looking good. A little powdery mildew. But these window boxes I'm loving. Minus the bacopa, because I'm not loving all the little brown, like I said about the ones in the front. But I'm really happy with the geraniums. I've wintered this one over, and the ones that I planted from seed, is there one over here? Yeah, this one I planted from seed. They're smaller, different habit, but really happy that the hummingbirds are loving them. I planted this Terenia in here because I had a hole, and it's a proven winner's variety, so I don't know, I haven't seen the hummingbirds at it yet. It doesn't mean they're not, but sometimes with these cultivars, they're not exactly super pollinator friendly, so I don't know. So jury's out on that, but it's really pretty. and it's a tender perennial, so I think I'm gonna bring that in and try and winter it over. The petunia is just such an easy, low maintenance one. It got huge without much work from me. I haven't even been fertilizing these. I just threw in the rose tone because I had some of that fertilizer from, what's that company? Espoma. And then this window box I'm really loving too. So I'm loving just the pink and purple theme back here. It's so simple. This is another ivy geranium that I wintered over. I think I'm gonna take some cuttings from both of these because I just love them so much. And there's another one of those ivy geranium from seed, so I'm gonna save all of those. So that'll be fun in the winter. And I got this little key lime plant for fun because it already had limes on it. So I'm thinking I can keep the plant pretty small because I didn't want a heavy citrus plant that I have to lug in the house every year. But I thought maybe I could handle this. The succulent was flowering, which is unusual for me. I feel like they usually flower in the winter. This container looks sad. Looks like this thing is going to seed. I should yank that out. This is a great time of year to just go shopping for clearance plants and just pop them in. Oh, the zebra dianthus is blooming. It looks like it's been blooming for a while. See, it's just so easy to miss things in your garden. It really is a lot of work to walk around. But this is such a pretty one. It's a short-lived perennial, so I try and plant some of it every year because I just like having it. I did give it a cut back so it's nice and bushy because it can get lanky. Planted a bunch of new things over here. I picked up this Roseanne geranium on clearance, which is supposed to be a really good performer. People say it blooms so long. And this Seascape strawberry was the last one at the nursery. I got it for half price and it had some runners. So hopefully that'll be really easy to get a bunch of strawberries for next year. And this is a Bobo hydrangea I picked up half price. I saved it. It's like going to an animal shelter sometimes when you go to Lowe's and things are just dying. They're just not getting watered. But it's putting on a lot of new growth. Looks like it's going to be really happy next year. So this time of year I'd have these beautiful white blooms. This helenium is getting ready to bloom. Something is eating the cafe au lait over here. If you know what that is, let me know. I'm curious. The lilies are still going. And this helenium, I planted bare root. I think I should have cut it back because it's awful lanky. I don't know if it just needs more sun, but, but at least this sedum is helping to hold it up. So that's good. That's a fire and ice hydrangea I just picked up, half price. It looked dead when I got it, but it just needed a really good drink. The lobelia, oh! It looks like it is it's getting ready to bloom. It's like 5 minutes from blooming. That's a great blue tubular native flower for the hummingbirds. And I started it from seed years ago and it just keeps spreading. It does a good job spreading from seed. And this is another, I think it's called Burning Hearts, perennial sunflower. And I picked up these plants on clearance, these I think they're called double rose begonias, these proven winter ones. So pretty. They look like little roses. And I have my Irish moss in there I planted from seed. And I forget what that one in the middle is called. But I picked up this chair on the side of the road years ago. If you ever see a metal chair on the side of the road, pick it up because they are great for the garden. You just stick a bowl planter right in and there you go. Because I had the big bleeding heart there and I just cut it back. So then you're left with a big hole. So that's a good hack for that. Oh, and this monkey flower. This is a new one to me. This is a native I just picked up this year and it's flowering. I thought the hummingbirds would like this one. More tubey little flowers. So we'll see if I see them at this one. And speaking of hummingbirds, I picked up a new plant that's called hummingbird. I think it's a clethra. I'll put the full name on the screen. But yeah, that name hummingbird just sold me on it right away because the hummingbirds have been coming to this corner because they hang out up in the trees. I'm sure they're having their babies up there. And I just learned, I was watching Green Planet and the woodpeckers, which we have a ton of woodpeckers on this tree, which I know isn't a good sign for the tree. So the woodpeckers, they make a hole and they get the sap out of the tree, and then the hummingbirds come along and they kind of steal some of the sap, and then they fight over it, which is giving the tree a chance to rebound, so the woodpeckers can't constantly peck it because they're too busy fighting off the hummingbirds and the squirrels. So that was interesting. That's what's going on up there. And then the hummingbirds come down and they've been loving the hostas. They go after the hosta flowers. These they were really loving, and you can see they're spent, but now I have these hostas blooming, and now I have this plant in here. So I'm hoping that gives them a welcome source of food. The bees were on it right away. Before I could even put it in the ground, they were all over it. It does say it's deer resistant, but I really just wanted it somewhere where I could see the hummingbirds from my window. So this would be a great one for a shade garden that's deer resistant. Well, thanks for joining me today on this garden walk. There are just so many projects I want to get done. I wanted to get them done by August, but it's August in a few days. I want to do a new privacy wall, like where that bamboo is. You probably noticed it's disintegrating. I want to do a roof for the chicken coop because that's an eyesore. And I noticed when I was doing the garden pans so that you could have a wide view of the backyard, how skinny the shade garden really does look. I think I really do need to expand that. So I want to just document all of that so you can see the process. And also I want to tell you about these things so I actually do them, so I'm accountable to someone. Let me know if you have any garden projects that you really want to get done this year. And make sure you get your garden unwind time this week. Look out for the deer resistant shade plant video that's coming soon. It might even be up already by the time you're watching this video. And I really do want to just thank you so much for watching. When I go to film these videos just to get my nerve up, I tell myself it's okay even if no one watches, because really I just like having my garden documented so I could go back and see what it looked like and remember where things are planted when I go to plant things before they're up in the spring. But so many of you have reached out and just let me know that these videos are helpful, they're insightful, so thank you for that. And when you have any ideas for how to make these videos better or anything that's annoying, if you'd like me to cover anything, and always let me know if you have any questions. You know, I try to answer every single comment. I mean, it's not that hard because I don't get that many yet. And if you want some free stuff, I'll link my freebies in the description. The 26 ultra deer resistant plants, perennials you can grow from seed. And if you click the link for any of those freebies, you'll automatically be subscribed to my email list, so you'll get freebies all the time. Until next time, happy gardening.